All right, Judge.
It's rollers.
Page 3, arraignments.
Alex, you ready? Come on, let's roll. This is Aminita
Yeah, Arenas.
Arenas.
Yes, sir.
You speak English.
Yeah, I do.
Ma'am, you're charged with tampering with a government record. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Shh. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Quiet.
So,
Shh. The reason that we have you in custody now is that you are on felony probation for injury to your child under 15, and it looks like they've issued a warrant on that case, and it's now set at no bond. So we have to take you into custody because of
but
that.
how if I was like,
Well, hold on. I don't know anything about it. I'll appoint you a lawyer. I will have the lawyer talk to you about how we can go forward. Let's first do probable cause in this case, and then we'll go forward.
Yes, Judge. On January 30th, 2025, at approximately 12:23 a.m., the officer observed a vehicle traveling with high beams activated within 500 feet of oncoming traffic. A traffic stop was then initiated, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle. The defendant provided a Texas ID and advised she is uninsured. The officer ran on TLETs, a search on the temporary tag, and could not find any records. The officer conducted a TLET search on the VIN and could not find any details, nor could dispatch. The officer was able to run a VIN through the Carfax, and it came back to the same year, make, and model of the vehicle. And the officer ran a temporary tag through a management system, and it showed as being involved in an accident on January 22nd, 2025, but showed as a silver 2005 Nissan. The defendant stated she bought the temporary tag from somebody, and that the vehicle was dropped off at her work, and mentioned that they had a silver Toyota Solaris and the Nissan Titan. The defendant observed a male swap temporary tags.
She's charged with tampering.
Yes, because she would have been aware that she did not purchase a valid registration, as he saw the person she bought the vehicle from swap his tag to her vehicle when she bought it.
Say that again. I was reading something.
So she knew that she was not having a valid registration placed on her vehicle because when she purchased the car, the person she purchased it from took his registration from his vehicle and put it on hers, and she continued to drive hers, knowing that it was not the proper registration.
So then and there unlawfully, intentionally, knowingly presented and used a license to which attached here to as Exhibit A, a governmental record with knowledge of its falsity.
She saw him swap it from his own for hers.
Right. All right, so ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. And what I'm going to do now is, did you say that she has a Texas driver license or she does not?
All right, Your Honor. Okay. It's eligible, Your Honor.
So she has a license then?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you back. I can't let you go because there's a felony warrant for your arrest.
why
I will appoint you a lawyer, and the lawyer can explain to you why the warrant was issued and how we can go further.
But if I was in operation every month,
I'm sorry?
I was in operation every month, you didn't tell
I
me.
get it, but one of the things while you're on probation is don't pick up any new cases, right? So let's do this. I can't give you legal advice. I can't tell you how to go forward, but I'll give you a lawyer today, and the lawyer will tell you and give you more advice, okay? For now, I just can't let you go. There's a felony warrant. So we'll put you in back for now, and then I'll appoint someone to you, okay? Please. Can you file no, hey, hold on, Vic. Can you no license and valid insurance?
Yes,
Just more information, please. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. Hi.
Good morning, Judge.
Come on up.
For approaches? Or
Yes.
still taking
No, 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 come on. We're waiting on
Judge,
lawyers.
you're off docket. If I can give you a cause number, it's on Mr. Chason Booker. It is 2521808, and I am here to request a modification of bond conditions this weekend. Mr. Booker has guard service, and I have a confirmation he will be in Corpus Christi. So he's asking that the 7th through the 9th, his curfew be modified to 4 a.m. to midnight so he can make it to Corpus Christi in the morning. It's a 4-hour drive from his base.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir, and I'll just sit with.
Yeah, just let her know, but then after that, that's,
Absolutely, Judge. We're trying desperately to work this out. Thank you, sir.
So he just needs to get it.
Matt?
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
What's new?
Not much. I had a last minute situation that I had to go to Montgomery County, so that's why I'm zooming in. But I have Juan Watson. Is the last name Watson?
Correct, okay. This person is here now, I'm assuming?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe he needs an arraignment.
Okay, Juan Watson, come up. No one.
Oh, is that him? There he
Is
is,
that-
Judge.
You are Juan Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Watson, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. As you can see, your lawyer is here with you on Zoom now, so you're not alone. Okay.
Yes, Judge. On December 25th, 2024, officers arrived at a hotel in Harris County, Texas, in response to a burglary of a habitation report. The defendant had made the call and was waiting in the hotel lobby. One moment here, let me double check.
The defendant made the call.
As well, I'm gonna read the DMs to see if maybe there's a typo in her summary.
Actually,
I believe he did make the call,
Yes,
Your
Judge.
Honor.
Yes, Judge. So the defendant had made the call, was waiting in the hotel lobby. The defendant advised he had a weapon and ID in his backpack. The police then escorted the defendant to a hotel room to retrieve his belongings and then off the property, where it was determined there was no weapon in his backpack. An officer performed a search of the defendant and found an unholstered pistol in his pocket.
What? They just start searching? What's he doing wrong?
I'm going to read the full DMs, Your Honor, because Your Honor, if we could have a moment so I could read this, because it seems like there's a lot more information that
Let's just read the DIMS. That's all I want to know.
the entire DIMS, Your Honor. Yes, yes, Judge. So the officer dispatched to a burglary of a habitation, later turned to an evading call for service at a hotel known as The Element. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant was observed behind the front desk area and did not at first advise he was the caller. The defendant appeared in a nervous state of mind and at first was not forthcoming with information for the investigation. The defendant later advised he obtained a room with another person who he advised he did not know and was only known as Chaz Burke. And the defendant advised he had traveled to the room with Chaz, and upon entering into the room, there was a third male in the room already, and the defendant advised he left the area out of fear of another unknown male. The defendant advised the third male was invited to the room by Chaz, and upon briefly speaking with the front desk employee of the business, advised the defendant prior to arrival was located in the hotel lobby, only in underwear for a brief time, but advised he heard a firearm being racked, chambering around, but did not observe this action and only heard it. The employee then advised an unknown female traveled to the hotel, brought the clothing the defendant was observed wearing on scene, which was the sweats and bottoms. The defendant advised the handgun was of his when asked was located in his black backpack. He was observed to have on his person. The backpack was temporarily taken possession of by the officer for safety due to the defendant advising a firearm was located inside the backpack. The defendant on scene had advised and given consent that the handgun could be obtained from the backpack and checked in TCIC, and also advised his ID was also in the backpack and could be obtained on scene by law enforcement. The room the defendant and Chaz had booked, which was number 424, was checked for Chaz or other unknown suspects with negative results, and none of the other suspects were spoken to during the investigation. The defendant advised he was traveling to the secured room in order to obtain any of his belongings in the room due to the defendant was to be criminally trespassed from the business and escorted off the business. The defendant at this point began to walk away from the deputy and continued to attempt to walk away from the deputy, but ultimately the officer escorted to the room without incident. Once the defendant was located back downstairs outside of the business, he obtained his driver's license from his backpack, and as he was conducting an NCIC check on the defendant, one of the other deputies on scene advised the handgun was not located inside the backpack as stated. The defendant was patted down for weapons on scene, and the deputy discovered a black spring-filled handgun located in the defendant's pant pocket without any type of holster for the handgun. The handgun was temporarily taken by the officer for safety. At this point, another deputy arrived on scene to detain the defendant, and the defendant was observed to be in a highly nervous state of mind, and the defendant pulled away from the deputy.
Detain him for what purpose? What's he doing wrong?
So he was being criminally trespassed, and then he had previously.
Yeah, but you give him notice and then you get him
Yeah,
to leave.
he told the officers that there was a weapon, and the employee told them that there was a weapon, so they were patting him down because they had those facts that there was a weapon, because they didn't find it in the backpack. So, but he had just told them that there was a weapon somewhere. So they patted him down for safety, and that's where they found the handgun.
Okay.
I think, Judge, like you said, they have to give him some kind of notice that he needs to leave the premises. Just them suspecting that this might be a criminal trespass.
Well, hold on. I mean, but this isn't evading. So
Yeah,
at some
and
point,
as it-
he allegedly must take off.
And as it continues, so once they attempt to detain the defendant for officer safety due to having the handgun without declaring it, the defendant was in a nervous state, and he began to pull away from the deputy and began to flee the scene and evade deputies on the scene. So all deputies were in full issued uniform, and the defendant was given verbal commands to stop and refused all commands given to stop and continued to evade, which he was then pursued off the hotel property and onto an apartment complex. The officer continued to pursue until he lost visual sight of the defendant, and the defendant was then later positively identified on scene from his driver's license, the Illinois driver's license. So after they attempted to detain him, following that, that's when he ran from the officers.
Matt, do you have anything?
Well, I don't really understand why they were trying to detain him.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I think that what they were trying to do is perhaps they believe something nefarious, right? So they're trying to just trespass him out, which I think is well within their right. And had that just happened, and, you know, I think it would have been just, nothing else would have transpired. But the fact that due to him leaving, they're unable to perform the trespass, right? And I think that's, you know, it's problematic.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Watson, when I find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, I'm not going to put any conditions on your bond. Just be careful. You know, you get into a pissing match with people. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but just stay in touch with Mr. Horak and he'll tell you when you have to come back.
Okay,
I know that you live in Ohio,
yes.
right? So I'm going to waive your appearance. You don't have to come back. At some point, if you have to come back, Mr. Horak will let you know, and then
Okay.
we'll go from there.
Okay,
So for now, I'll just have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then we'll just get you out of here.
okay, thank you.
Judge, how's April 1st through the 3rd?
April 1st through the 3rd.
The second would be great, Victoria.
Got it.
It's yours.
Thank you so much,
Okay,
Judge.
Matt.
Maybe excused.
You got it. Have fun.
Take care.
Hi.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I am approaching to see if we can amend bond conditions for two cases, actually. One of them is off docket. Is that okay? Can we-
Yes, absolutely. Good
Okay, I have the
morning,
case
Sebastian.
number.
What is it?
It's 254-9067.
Long.
Yes,
Okay.
he is here. He had the no contact with the complaining witness restriction and also the address. He lives at the home, he pays the bills. we've spoken with the complaining witness and they said they're okay with no threatening and harassing and allowed him to go back home.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Say you.
Yes, Judge, I confirmed with the complainant, they want him back home and, you know, we were just asked that.
My only issue is that he's a prior murder case.
Yes, Judge.
What happened
It
with
was
him?
so many years ago, Judge. He had, I mean, but he has not had any issues since. I do understand the concern.
You know, I would
Convicted.
typically be more concerned, I think, given the age of the murder, as well as the fact that that is his primary residence. I think it might be fair to.
Come up, Wonk. Oh, it's not on docket, you said, right?
No, he's not.
So all we're doing is taking off the residential restriction, correct? That's all we're doing? Or is, there's a no contact order now?
But they live together, so,
Who is the complaining witness in this case?
his girlfriend's son.
Yeah, I mean, we can do,
Have you ripped to see whether the son wants to have contact?
yeah, that's the person that I.
How old is this kid?
He's,
47,
yeah,
Judge.
he was.
Okay, so he's not young. All right, all right. So Mr. Wonk, they're asking me to amend your bond conditions to allow you to have contact. I will. I'll allow you to go back to this house, but you need to understand there are still conditions of no threatening or harassing behavior. And what you need to understand, what threatening and harassing doesn't matter what you think. I don't care what you think. It's what the other person perceives. So you need to be aware of this. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with the complaining witness, but if it's something where you're constantly butting heads, that could be problematic for you. All he has to do is just call and say, hey, man, he's at it again. You're the one that's gonna go back. You understand? Okay, so just be careful. There are many vindictive people in this world. Know who your audience is at all times. So do you mind filing those, no threatening or harassing and no weapons? And then if you don't mind printing out the memo for me, I'll amend it then. Okay, Mr. Wong, we're gonna need you to sign bond conditions reflecting that you understand everything. Just take a seat. Once we have you sign it, at that point, you're free to go. Okay, thanks.
Judge.
Oh, yeah, it's 254-9067. Yeah, okay.
And then I have one other on docket, Hodges. He may not show. We reset him for today to amend the bond conditions. But he's on docket. I can give you the case number off if you need it.
Yeah, it's not on docket. What's your cost number?
It is 253-2980.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it's.
So this is a failure to give information.
Yes, so, at his arraignment setting back in October, you did a no, driving, and then we also put a curfew on it. He has been on those conditions since. He's done a defensive driving course. He hasn't had any bond violations or anything within that time.
Is he here?
Yes, sir. Did I take these already? It is 253.
Come up, Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. We're just asking to look. The no driving restriction and the curfew.
Does he have insurance as well? Have you been, do you have liability insurance in your name?
Car insurance?
In your name?
Yes.
You do have car insurance in your name?
Yes.
As long as you have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, but you have to have it in your name, right? At that point, I'm gonna allow you to drive, but you need to understand that it's a privilege. It's not a right. So if I see you acting a fool in the car, I will take it away again, and I'm not gonna play this game again with you. Do you understand? Okay, all right.
Thank you, Judge. And the curfew,
Does he have any other open cases elsewhere too?
he does in Galveston,
You have over there?
a DWI. However, I mean, he works, he's an electrician, he works 2 hours away. And so the curfew hasn't allowed him to work any overtime or any late nights.
How
you
long
know.
do you want? What do you want?
Can we just take it off completely? I mean, he's been on it since October and he's shown that he can be consistent and that he wouldn't have any trouble. Looking at it now, I think he deserves a second chance.
Okay, we'll see. If you pick up a third case, I'm gonna absolutely lose it. Do you understand? Make good decisions. We're not asking for much. You endanger my public. I'm gonna I'm gonna go nuts on your bond. Do you understand? Okay, all right, we'll give you a chance.
Judge, we're removing the DPS completely, right?
Correct. All right, Mr. Pons. Hey,
Mr. Proctor, again on the docket for, he's got a
is he back there? Okay.
reverted bond on his terroristic threat, raise it to 7. Would you lower it to 5,000?
Yes.
Okay. And then,
So hold on a second.
conditions,
What's it now? It's at,
7,000.
so what I'll do is, 5,001.
Okay. And then conditions on the, DWI,
Just standard conditions. I mean, does he have any other, do you know if he has any other DWIs?
no, I don't think so.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so just no alcohol, no dope, no weapons, no contact with the complaining witness in the terroristic threat. Just standard bond conditions, but let him know. If he picks up a third case, all bets off.
Gotcha.
And then, Mr. Pons, I just sent you an email.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna ask you, because I did a lot of work to not work that Monday, that Super Bowl Monday.
You want the next day?
Yes. Okay,
Absolutely.
I'll see you Tuesday then.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you. All right, man.
I'll let Victoria know. Hi, Sean, how are you, man? If you want a copy of the nollie, we can give it to you now. I'm signing it now. Okay. Hi, Sean.
I have one, it's the top of page 12, just trying to avoid using the name with it.
Okay. What do you want to do?
So we are working with felony right now, kind of going up the ladder at the DA's office about possibility of a diversion for upstairs that will, I believe, work this one out. Chris went upstairs and talked.
You representing him upstairs?
Yeah, yes, sir. Here and
Yeah, we're co-counseled on both of them.
Okay, great.
We feel optimistic about it, but we just haven't gotten a full answer since there's been a change in administration and all that. So everybody.
So did he have a PTI in the first? Is that why?
This is the evading that he's charged with. I have my own serious doubts about, but I think in his interest, he was trying to seek a PTI that may result in a plea in this case. But we're trying to
So,
kind of work out
but
the
it's, the
details.
problem is that it's old.
Yeah.
So how long do you want? I mean, we gotta set a time. I gotta give you a time limit, right? Just, it's 220 days now.
And can we go about 30 days? That
At
will,
that point, I don't care. I'm gonna set you for trial though.
Okay.
Like you're out of time at that time. That you're at 250 days and that, you know, it's just too much, right? So I will give that to you, but that's the last setting.
okay,
Okay? So do what you can to try to work it out as fast as you can, but that's it.
okay.
Discovery's complete, right?
No, we are missing the search warrant and search warrant affidavit.
And then I'm gonna have a big problem with this. And I'm gonna set this for if you guys are missing something at 220 days, Alex, I'm gonna have a big problem with this.
Yeah, Judge, just let me confirm.
Regardless, your cutoff day with this case is 250 days. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this, if you're truly lacking something, I'm setting this for a discovery hearing. And if you don't get it within that time, that's it.
Yes, Judge, it appears we're still missing the warrant, so we'll reach out immediately if we can get it.
Setting it for a 10-day discovery hearing.
Hey, discovery hearing.
You don't have absolutely everything,
Yes,
it's
sir.
not gonna go well for you.
Yes, sir.
It's unacceptable that at 220 days, you're still missing a warrant.
At that 10-day hearing, will his appearance be required or will it be waived?
You can be waived, it's not a big deal. So we're on top of page 12. They're still missing a discovery. So I'm setting it for a 10-day discovery hearing. What I would do is I would subpoena the officer to come to court,
Yes, Judge, and
and
we'll have them, but
yeah.
find it your own.
So set it for 10 days, but the cutoff with this case regardless is 250 days. At that point, it's clear trial. So, okay, guys, see you in 10 days.
Thank you.
thank you.
Oh, and hey, Judge. Thank you.
Hi, Marcus.
Got a plea, Mr. Gonzalez Hernandez.
Okay, you ready?
I call him up.
Please.
Do you have the cause number?
Yes,
Thank you.
Our friend, Mr. Martinez, has not made it up, so hopefully he'll come up tomorrow, Judge.
Say again?
Our guy from yesterday.
Are you posting bond?
I don't think he's posted bond. No, I don't see an ISO, so I guess we'll see.
Really? No one's gonna post it for him? No one's gonna post it?
I don't know yet.
Por favor, conteste a voz alta.
Good morning, Mr.
Buenos
Gonzalez
días, señor
Hernandez.
González Hernández. Good morning.
Are charged with driving while intoxicated. First offense, it's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. So you are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
Multa de $4,000.
You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 1 year in Harris County Jail.
Año en la cárcel
For that to be probated for 15 months.
de meses.
Is this a second or a
Es la
first?
segunda. y
True
la
first?
primera. La primera.
As part of the agreement for you to successfully complete this, you must do a DWI education class.
Hace de
You must do a victim impact panel.
tener un panel de
You must also do a TRAS. This is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need.
condiciones
If
necesarias.
they assess other conditions, you must fulfill these conditions as well.
Tener
Substance abuse treatment,
también. Eso incluye tratamiento.
no breath test refusal,
Pero,
meaning that if you're pulled over while driving a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath sample,
no, y
you must do it.
aliento.
No drugs, alcohol. You must have a guardian interlock and 30 hours
20
of
horas.
community service. Does he have a Texas driver license?
He does
de
not drive.
licencia de
You are
manejar.
not allowed to drive. I want you to understand, I take this absolutely serious, and you will be signing a promise with me today as part of your probation that you're not going to drive.
Como parte de
There's
su
nothing worse that you can do in this life than doing two things. Three, picking up a new case, drinking alcohol, or driving. Those things will land you in custody faster than anything else.
rápido.
And if you're not in this country with permission, and you go back to jail, it may be your very well last time that you
Última vez.
are here. Do you understand?
Entiende. I do.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right
Derecho
to
al juicio.
compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible
Ciudadano.
immigration
Hay
consequences. You can
posibles
be deported,
consecuencias migratorias.
excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal.
Su
Once
derecho
you
a
plead guilty to this offense, it will go on your record. You will never be able to take it off.
sacarlo.
Do you understand?
Entiende.
You also need to understand that if you get pulled over in the future, you're in a car driving, an
Ando.
officer, the first thing they do is they look at your driving record.
Hace
If they see a prior DWI and they come up to your window and they smell alcohol or they smell something funky, it's not gonna go well for
que
you.
va a ir bien.
And from now on, you are facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up.
Bien, caso nuevo que usted le da.
Do you understand?
Entiende. I do.
All right, how do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty, send you to the agreement. Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Thank you, Judge.
The fee. The fee.
Wait, the thing, okay, is it?
So, hold on, Tony. I need you to tell him one more thing. I want you to understand
Quiero que
something.
usted entienda
That
algo
DWI is extremely big business in Harris County and in Texas.
grande.
There is a $3,500 surcharge that typically would apply to you
3,500.
on these types of cases. I will waive it for you now because it is a first offense. On a second DWI offense, it is a $6,000 surcharge, and if you don't pay it,
$6,000. Si no lo
you do a
paga,
ton of jail time.
están en la
Do
cárcel.
you understand?
Tiempo. ¿Lo
So
entiende?
get a clue. If you want to
Entienda.
drink, don't get into a car.
Meta en un carro.
All
Thank you,
right.
Judge, appreciate it.
Ready? Wait.
Your Honor, it's actually off docket and it's just for bond conditions. We were here last week on the Devontae Levi. You want
Okay.
to use number?
Yeah, sure.
254-8452. So you were going to bonds, we're doing a new one. You ordered bond conditions, but they were not entered. So we're back again.
So let's enter it now and we can have them sign it and that way we're,
Okay, well, There's no notes of the conditions. So if you could please order them again.
Remind me what happened again, Alex, please, if you don't mind.
One moment, pulling it up. Let's see.
And Mackenzie, Gary. The judge wants a reminder.
Oh, it's 254. Yeah.
He's still in custody, right?
No, Your Honor, he's on bond.
Is he here?
Yes, Hodges, please.
So, come up, Mr. Levi. Or is it Levy or Levi?
Is it Levy or Levon? Levy, Your Honor.
Okay. Mackenzie, do you mind?
Yes, so on January 21st, 2025, an officer made contact with the complainant. The complainant stated the defendant, she knew him from a previous dating relationship. The complainant stated she ended her relationship after finding out she was 6 weeks pregnant and was paying the defendant's phone line until she turned it off on the 21st of 2025. And the defendant started sending her threatening messages on the 16th, 2025, stating that he was going to make somebody jump on you and knock your teeth out, and delusional hoes like you deserve to die. The complainant stated she went to turn off the defendant's phone line on the 18th, and the defendant is now using Wi-Fi to continuously threaten and harass, with the last message on the 21st of 2025. The complainant is in fear for her life, and the defendant was ID'd by his Tennessee driver's license.
Got it. Okay. So he's also on probation. Are you representing him on his probation case upstairs?
That was terminated, Your Honor. It was early terminated.
So he's not on probation now?
No,
So, Mr. Levi, or Levy, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you back in jail. Do you understand? You're not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case, and you're not to be in possession of weapons as well. Did we do
there's a
What?
note. It has not been signed, Your Honor. It's in the system, but it was not signed.
Right, so I'm entering now what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Ms. Beck as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand? If you violate this court order, the state can and will file a violation of protective order against you, and that is the capital murder of misdemeanors. You pick up a case like that, it's really gonna go sideways quick. Stay away and control the temper, because if you become a danger to my community, I'm gonna unleash on you. Do you understand? I don't care who you are, I don't care where you're from, but I'm gonna protect my community at all costs. We will have you sign the order for protection. I'll have you meet with Fleischer for bond conditions, and after that, you guys are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Yeah, let me give you a cost number. Ready? 254-8452. Yeah. And a DD.
I was just gonna let Alex know what was going on, so he wasn't thrown off guard.
Yeah, my computer's not working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I'm just. That's a problem. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Me every day. Yeah. Can I have a question? I'm here on Ally, ALLY.
Okay.
I screwed this up, Judge. This was an older case. I'm not sure exactly how I got on it. I just know that there were some issues with his previous attorney. I need to do a mitigation packet, and I thought we reset him from last week for 2 weeks and not 1 week.
We're submitting it. We have 1 week to submit a mitigation
I thought
packet
we
for
had 2
mental
weeks.
health.
And then with the trial and having to pick the second jury, I just,
It's okay. How much longer do you need?
if I could just get a couple of weeks,
Okay.
I mean, I have everything. I just need to scan it and send it over
Okay.
and then get a decision. And it's not a DWI.
Right.
It's a
So you
mental
want
health.
2 weeks?
That would be perfect, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'm sorry,
It's okay. You're good. Don't worry about it.
You know how
I know.
one thing goes wrong and then the whole week snowballs. Thank you.
Mr. Burleson.
Judge, how are you?
Hey, man, what's new?
Green Seville.
Okay.
Did to reset it last time because I was in trial, but I've got a mitigation packet ready to go. She is mulling over her options now, but I just want to let you know that it can be filed today. I didn't even know who to
That's
say.
261 days. That's like so old. How did it even get that old?
There were some video issues. We didn't get until December.
So
And then I was in trial in December and January.
you need to submit it today.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna set you off a week to get a decision from them. Right, no more waived appearances, so she's gonna have to be here.
she'll be here.
The next time you'll get the approval, we'll send for a
And she's
T.
mulling her options because I've talked to her if she wants this done today, because she's got some considerations.
No. We need to know today if she wants to do it, because if not,
Yeah, that's why she's in the side room thinking about her options. I've just spent 30 minutes talking to her about it.
so let me know. I mean, if she wants a trial, we'll set it today. Otherwise, if she wants to go through with the mitigation packet, I'll set it off for a week.
You'll know in the next 10 minutes. I just letting you know.
Thanks.
Judge, how much time on that one?
They're still talking.
Oh.
See whether they're gonna set up a trial or not.
Great.
I mean, if it's multiple, then that's it. I'm not playing this game.
Judge, may we approach?
Yes.
We're here on Ronnie Granger.
Danger. Okay.
We are approaching just for bond conditions.
Did he just get out, I'm assuming?
You want him to come up, Judge?
Please.
Yes.
I'll be on. Good. Extending the bond conditions.
Can you please read to me what happened in this case?
Yes, Judge. So on January 14th, 2024, an officer at 3:14 a.m. was dispatched to a disturbance call at 4800 Hollister Street. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the defendant who was inside his vehicle. Officers attempted to box in the defendant with emergency lights on. The defendant reversed out and evaded in his motor vehicle. The officers pursued the defendant for 6 miles until he lost control and crashed out on the 9100th block of Northwest Freeway. The defendant ran out of his vehicle and the officers were able to chase him down and take him into custody. The complainant told the officer that the defendant was asleep and woke up feeling paranoid and thought somebody was trying to kill him. The complainant tried to calm the defendant down. The defendant acted as if he was going to hit the complainant. The defendant began to follow the complainant around the apartment in an unnatural manner. The complainant started to feel fear. The complainant started to call 911 and told the defendant she was. The defendant grabbed the phone from her and grabbed the phone from her hand as the dispatcher was on the line and hung up. The defendant grabbed the complaining witness's daughter's phone in her second attempt to call 911 and hung up the phone. The defendant grabbed a knife and said, "I'm going to kill you," 2 times, but never came at the complainant with the knife. The defendant left the apartment and went to sit in his car. The complainant went to her neighbor's where she was finally able to call 911 successfully.
Know whether she wants to have contact with.
Absolutely no contact, Judge. I've spoken with her. It's a very traumatizing situation for the complainant.
Mr. Granger, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you know what conditions the felony court has placed on him?
They have not placed no contact with it, which is why I wanted to approach with you today, Judge. They have placed, disappear, no new crimes, no drugs, alcohol, no firearms. And that is it.
Yeah. Because it actually is more.
From what I've been told from the complainant as well, she did get a 90-day protective order as well successfully.
Granger, I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my community at all costs. If I find that you become a danger to my community, if I find that you try to have contact with the complaining witness, if you pick up a fifth case, I'm going to go absolutely bonkers. Do you understand? You are not to have contact with the complaining witness in this case. You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If they call on you to go take a test and you fail to go, a warrant will issue for your arrest. If you have any kind of weapons, you go anywhere near the complaining witness, likewise, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
No weapons. No going within 200 feet of where the complaining witness lives or works. There are no children involved, are there?
Yes, there are children
And
involved, and
one
children were on the
away.
scene of the incident.
He has two kids, that's his wife, two kids, and they're expecting one. When are y'all expecting one?
August.
It doesn't matter that you have one, you're not to have contact with this person. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have contact with the kids, which you very well should. Use an intermediary. You can use counsel, you can use anyone else, but don't take matters into your own hands. Don't go over there. It's not gonna go well for you. Do you understand? Okay, so you have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. If she tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You understand? Okay, so we'll have him sign bond conditions. You guys are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, please. Thank you. Mr. Preston, how are you? What's new?
I have Mr. Juan Guerrero with you.
Okay,
Juan has an ice hold. He's not gonna be getting out of jail. So will I need to approach?
44.
where do you want to go now? What do you
With
want to
him?
do? Yeah,
Trying to get a deal for jail time on one and dismiss the other. Kelsey needs some time to check with her supervisor to see whether that would be okay.
I get it. It's only 17 days old, so I can't imagine that they have
Yeah.
probably any evidence.
So we're just trying to do a short reset.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Okay,
mean, if you want a week, 2 weeks, whatever you want.
Real short. Judge.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just you let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Eric, hi bud.
I'm here on Mr. Washington, first name Michael.
Bond or custody?
Bond.
Okay.
Council for return.
Okay, what's the word?
He has two cases, reckless driving and a pistol case out of the same transaction.
Okay,
State has offered him PTI with a bunch of things to dismiss.
we got that off for December 23rd, or I'm sorry,
January 23rd.
January 23rd.
So he signed the contract this morning, so he can get started on all of the things. So he just needs time to do defensive driving, decision-making, gun safety class, and then a $100 donation to the food bank.
Michael Washington, come up. So it's 180 days.
I know, that's why I
You
know.
know, I'll give you 3 weeks, but if he's not done by then,
He doesn't have to do community service hours.
Right. So, you know, you've been given a great offer, right? They're willing to dismiss both your cases. All you have to do are 3 classes. Your case is 182 days old. I'm not giving you much time to get it done. If you don't have the wherewithal to have it done within a couple of weeks, I'm setting your case for trial. Do you understand? Okay, man. All right, good luck. Couple weeks.
Judge, may we approach?
Tell me.
So he has a PTI offer contingent on the packet.
Well, if we'll offer, we'll put a PTI. Once we look at the mitigation packet, we'll determine if we're willing to make an offer of PTI.
Okay.
So how long do you want? What was the last name again?
Eves. Sure, I'll be attached to the case today, so I can.
He's here, right?
Yes, she is.
Lee Hughes, come up.
I went outside and talked to him, so he's standing right there. She's going to get him.
Okay, great.
You okay?
Doing great. Thanks, you.
Hey, seems like everybody has this little nasal deal.
My daughter suffers bad.
Trying to get on the other side.
What up, Mr. Hughes? Your lawyer is trying to work a deal where he's trying to get an intervention agreement for you. You need to turn in what's called a mitigation packet to try to secure that kind of agreement from the state. As with anything in life, you get what you put in. If you put your heart and soul into it, you can achieve damn near anything. But if you put something together, it looks like you did the night before on a bar napkin, don't expect much. He's gonna ask stuff for you. If you don't put your heart into it and soul into it, don't expect much. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, your case is 190 days old. I'm going to give you one last setting. You will not get any more time after this. I will give you 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but after that time, you're done. If you have not completed your side of the bargain, I'm gonna set your case for trial. You get no more time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got 30 days. That's it. All right, we'll have you see.
Yeah, I got that arrangement, man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Mr. Cruz. Amari Cruz, shall I call him up?
Oh, arraignments?
Yeah. You, Mr. Amari Cruz Serrano. Yes, sir. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 30th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a major crash on West Dallas Street in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed a bumper part of the motor vehicle at the scene where the defendant's vehicle struck a pole. The license plate was attached to the bumper, which came back to a blue Toyota Corolla when ran. A real witness saw the motor vehicle parked on the shoulder of North Freeway, matching the description given out by the officer on the side of the freeway with the defendant in the driver's seat. The real witness observed the defendant get out of the vehicle to change his tire, and the real witness stayed on scene. The officer observed the defendant kneeling by the front passenger tire, instructed the defendant to step away from the vehicle to come over to him, and observed bloodshot eyes, a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and then administered standard field sobriety tests. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 0 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and presented a breath. The results were 0.082 to 0.083. The defendant then stated he was coming from a bar. He was just broken up. He had 1 drink of Hennessy and Coca-Cola, though he later stated he had 2 drinks, and that his missing damaged bumper happened in the past, and that the bumper was probably at his home.
Okay. Any prior to DPIs?
No, Your Honor. And it's eligible.
Got it. All right, Mr. Cruz Serrano, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You're going to be randomly tested. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, any kind of illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
As long as you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance, you may continue to drive. But if you don't have one or the other, then you're not allowed to drive. And that is also a condition of your bond. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you have a lawyer. Because you have one, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel and he will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, you pick up a new case, you become a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll have you sign a receipt of Victoria. We'll have you meet with Fleischer for your bond conditions and then you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
Hi, Judge.
On Sydney Robinson, he is set for bond forfeiture today. It was a case where he has a charge here and a fugitive case. He was extradited. We reset it today for me to see if I can track him down, and I did.
Oh, great.
I know.
So what happened?
Well, I can confirm as of last night at 5 p.m. He is in the Adams County Jail with a discharge date of April 5th. I've been in contact with his mother, who confirmed as much. He pled in Adams County, so he's just serving out a sentence. So.
Hey, you know, I'm happy that you're able to get
Yeah.
that kind of information. We'll give you time.
So when would you like to set it? April 5th is when he gets out in Colorado.
Does he live here or does he live over there? Do you know?
Hold on, I do know.
I think he lives here, right?
He lives here. He lives here. The probation was transferred to Texas
So let's set it for a week
after April 5th.
discharge date,
Okay,
setting it for bond pool.
great. Yes.
Get everything done, and then after that, it's still not gonna be old, right? We'll still at that point be
January 11th, so it would be,
80, 90 days old. So after that point, now that I know that I have hands on him, I'll waive your appearance after that.
okay,
So-
great. And we are still waiting on evidence on it too.
I got it. So let's SFBF, the next setting, he's gotta be here. After that, we'll waive.
And then Arenas is a new case I got. She just got taken in on a felony warrant, so I'm assuming you don't need any conditions. It's a tampering license plate.
The only one I did was just no driving without, a license and insurance, and he said that she had a valid license, so.
Sure. Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Madam Pro Judge? Good morning, Judge. How are you? I'm here in Orellano, Carranza.
There or there?
He was in custody, he bought it out. I know there was an immigration hold, detainer. It was never lifted, but he's out. I don't know where he is.
Oh, he's not here.
Not here.
That's no bueno.
I know. I didn't even know he had bonded out until about a week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, tell everybody that
Yeah,
bond out, you gotta be here.
I tell him the same thing.
So let's do this. I'll give you till Monday. I'll SFBF Monday. Do what you can to reach out,
Yeah.
you know,
Send him a
family or
letter
whoever.
today.
If they're not here Monday,
I know. And he possibly, he's at immigration, possibly get deported, so I don't know.
oh,
It's a possibility, because the immigration detainer doesn't say hold lifted. It says a hold, but it was never lifted. Then when you check the record, it says he bonded out. So I don't know how that was possible for him to bond out.
when you look on the master docket though, won't it say whether they get deported or not? You know? Who's Eric,
Last time I saw somebody that did immigration.
you do a little bit of immigration, right?
I used to use this.
So if you have someone that goes to immigration from here, now Tony doesn't know if they got released or they got deported. When you look on the master docket, you know how you pull up the master docket, they'll say that they're at the Greens Road or wherever they are. Will it say whether they got deported
No,
or
but
not?
you can call the 1-800 number. So if you look up the
Immigration?
1-800 status number,
Look,
and then, no, it's an automated number. And you just type in the A number, and then it just tells you it's an audio report, and it'll say
A number,
the
the alien
judge,
number.
right, and it'll say the judge ordered
A number, I can
removal.
get it.
Yeah, I need the alien number.
Hold on.
And it'll be, the A number will be, did he have an ICE hold?
Yeah, the nose hold.
So if you go to
Just need another-
so if you go to the district clerk side and you click on holds, the A number will be there.
District clerk here or
Mhm. Yeah,
district clerk
the-
in the feds?
No, here.
Do you need the country of origin too?
No, you just need the A number. And with that, you can type in the A number on the automated number, and it'll tell you what's the last thing that happened in immigration court. It'll either say removed, deported, or it'll say there's a new master scheduled on whatever day.
I'll give him another date.
Mhm.
Tony, I'm printing this out for you. It's, I think one of those should be the A number, where it says the warrant number, and then we'll put it on for Monday and you let me know.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yes, thanks. Hey,
So good news, Meyer's been approved.
okay.
Guilty, we're ready whenever you are.
Oh, okay. You ready?
Yes.
Timothy Meyer, come up. Right. Mr. Meyer, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 15 days in jail with credit for the 5 days that you've done. You need to understand that this charge is going to go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You get pulled over in a car, all officers do is they look at your record and then they look at you. If they smell alcohol and they see that you have a prior to DWI, it's probably not going to go well for you. Do you understand? So if you're gonna drink, you can have, well, I don't care. Just, you need to understand this, man, because you still have the next 40 years that you could potentially be driving. And the law, they don't give a rat's behind about them. All they care about is whether you have a prior, you smell like dope or alcohol now, they're gonna take you in. You also have to understand from now on, it's a minimum of 30 days in jail. No more proverbial slaps on the wrist. Do you understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization, you give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. It will go on your record forever. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the office of driving while intoxicated?
Guilty, sir.
I'm going to find you guilty. Tell me why it got so old again. Do you know?
I don't, Judge. I mean, he lives in New Mexico, so I'm not really sure how this came to be. Were you just in New Mexico the whole time?
No, I was here for over a year and it happened during the height of COVID. It just took a couple years to even go to trial.
Come to court, good things happen, you know, really. So when you pick up future criminal cases, come to court. Now, I don't know if you have any prior DWIs, but you got to understand the third DWI, because if you have a prior DWI, this one now makes 2. A third, you're looking at a felony charge, 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. So you got to be very careful if you have any priors. Do you understand? Okay, guys. Good luck. Now, I'm going to run it CC.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, one more thing. I have to suspend your license. I'm going to do it for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. All right? Okay, guys. Run it CC every 12 minutes.
And Judge, on your jail docket, Lopez Jacinto, he's going to waive the fugitive. So we'll wait for the interpreter to get here. Do you want to we'll bring him up?
We'll bring him up. Okay. Ready? Yeah. Eric, thanks for helping them.
Yes, sir. I have it's Jaramillo Jimenez on the docket.
Okay.
This is kind of an interesting situation because I believe he was in immigration as well. And
someone else that's represented.
Right. Okay. So his family hired me in December. I filed an attorney of record. I filed a motion to sub. And I came to court, but I guess I was never attached on it. And once he got out of immigration, he basically told the family, well, y'all picked Eric and I didn't pick him. I had picked another attorney. So I'm fine with the other attorney on it because he's still filing stuff on the case. He's still making appearances for him. I just need to make sure I don't need to file a motion to withdraw because technically I was never attached.
Do we know if Mr. Landrio is going to be here today?
I saw that he filed like a discovery motion recently, so I'm assuming he is.
Jaramillo. Give me a second. Let me call him real quick, just to make sure. So you're right. It looks like he filed a motion for discovery on January 6th. I guess we'll wait for him.
Okay.
See if he shows.
Yeah, either way, he told me a couple of days ago that he does not want me to be his lawyer.
Okay,
So,
then yeah.
I just need to
Here.
should I go or let him?
Jaramillo Jimenez.
Counsel's here, Judge.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So you're here for Chilandrio, right?
Yes, Your Honor, that's my law partner.
Right. Okay, so you're here with it because Eric initially was hired by the family But I guess the defendant is saying that he wants you guys to represent him.
Yes,
So
sir.
you're not, I don't do anything.
Right.
I don't think you need to file a motion to,
Because I
like,
filed a motion to sub and an attorney record in December.
just we'll disregard it.
Yeah.
And we'll just keep you on it. And then whatever you guys need.
Was hired in November, so it supersedes, Eric's attorney.
Yeah, we'll just keep it. Yeah. Okay, you're good. Don't worry about it. You're good. Okay, thanks, Eric. Hey. Hi, Mayuji, what's going on with you?
I am approaching on behalf of Mr. Shegun Bada. Good news, he did pay he's on Zoom waiting in the waiting room. He did pay the $840. I was told by Ms. Shatoria that he's been extended for 90 days.
So now we just play the waiting game. You're
Yes,
good
he
for
just
90
has to do his part, which would be
Remain in compliance with the device and stay out of trouble, but you guys made his pay.
Great. So I'm not gonna need to see him. You can talk to him
Okay.
and just let him know, hey, just be good for 90 days. Any more issues?
as far as a reset, do you want to do it like you did the last time, or like a check point?
Check in, make
Okay.
sure, yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Byron.
I'm approaching on Noel Castillo or Garcia Castillo is his last name.
Okay.
So everything's complete. They evaled it. They gave me a new offer yesterday. They kind of upped it.
Hey, we got worse.
Yes, I do believe there's some issues here that are not, anyway, I'd like to just set up.
Okay.
Yes. Sure. Do I get the trial date from her or?
From Ronnie.
Okay.
She's in back.
Do I go through? Okay, thank you.
So it looks like our interpretation, the deputy.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I have a question. Why did I get a fugitive? Why did I get a fugitive? I don't ever do those.
If you're not on the list, you can't do fugitives then. If you're not on if you're not on the fugitive list, then you can't do it then.
That's why I don't want to. He's gonna wait.
I don't know.
Still do that?
No, you can't represent him. I don't know why you got appointed.
I didn't understand that from the get-go.
You have to be, there's special training that you go through to be on the fugitive list.
Oh, okay.
And if you've not done that, then you can't do it. He can't do it.
Okay, so then I'll have to
We're gonna have to reappoint someone else.
Just.
Who is it?
Lopez,
Lopez Jacinto.
Jacinto.
He's not on the list to do fugitive cases.
Yeah,
I can reappoint.
Please. Hey,
Timothy Smart is on,
okay.
and I've not been able to get in contact with him. Yeah.
I got it.
Can I file for, I was gonna file a motion to withdraw on it.
Yeah, I'll revoke it now.
Okay. Thanks, Judge.
This is,
All PTI, I think he's supposed to go check in, he's just got everything set up and then.
I'm putting his bond at 15,004. That's how many times it's even more than that. Okay, yeah, file it. Just, we'll take you off.
Judge May approach?
Yeah.
There was a case that we finished last week, there was a plea, or earlier this week, on Gracia. I can give you the case number. It's 253-8896.
253-8896.
So I filed a motion to return a weapon, but to me, not to the defendant. I spoke to the state, they were.
As long as it's going to you, I'm okay. It's not going to go to him?
It's not coming in, and that's clear on the order as well.
Done.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Hey, Gilbert.
Hi, Judge, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Just running around like always, recovering from a 6-day trial. It's been a while since I put my brain through all that effort.
Wow. What were you trying?
We're trying to sexual assault case, assaulting one former spurned lover that suddenly accuses the ex-lover of.
That's a lot of baggage, man.
Just caught too many inconsistencies. The jury ended up finding her not guilty on both counts. That wasn't great.
Wow.
Well, I thought the guy was crazy for risking. They offered him a misdemeanor, family injury, bodily assault, 2-year deferred. I said, take it, man. Don't risk the conviction and the registration requirement. It's a good deal. Take it. This is a secure thing for you to go. You may be deported at the end of it.
That takes a lot of chutzpah right there. To go with it, that just unbelievable. What an offer.
He had betrayed his wife. It was the wife at the end that said, if you didn't do anything, you need to go to trial. And I said, don't let your wife decide that. Oh, that's an interesting.
That's I mean, that takes a lot of,
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I was worried about him, but,
well, you did it though. You did, good job. You did it,
I felt, I'm 69. Let's just say I felt the wear and tear of being in trial for a week and stuff. You really see the difference, like when you're young.
Oh, yeah.
And you can try them, like, I used to try them back to back. I said, not anymore. Those years have accumulated on. I was surprised that the jurors liked me enough. I think they were feeling sorry for the old man representing.
Whatever. What do you want to do with our case? It's old.
I have Angel De Leon.
Yeah.
We're trying to finalize to see if it affects the plea agreement. They're looking at the restitution amount and see if we pay enough of it, the offer may go down. So that's where we are right now.
So where are you? How many times have you ripped it, Alex?
Those are check. Looks like we completed a rip. It's been a while, Your Honor. It was back in July, so we'd have to reach out again just to.
It was a total loss of a car, is what I'm gathering. So we're trying to find out.
Right, we have to confirm the amount, so we have to reach out, and we can reach out today and we can see.
Please, I mean, it's old, it's time, so.
Anything, we have time, I can step out and see if I can
No,
get.
don't, because he's got stuff he needs to do. So we'll set you off for a week.
Yes, Judge.
Please get the stuff done.
Yes, Judge.
All right, okay.
We'll find out if they have insurance or not, and if there's a deductible, what that was. And if they didn't have it, what's the total value of the car, and then we'll see what we're at.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, man.
Good seeing you.
You too, take care.
Much time, Judge?
Just a week for them to get the restitution amount. So as you were charged with driving while intoxicated, you were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Officers were dispatched to a possible intoxicated driver call, and a witness stated he observed the defendant go in and out of lanes as well as make a U-turn on Highway 59 going against traffic. The officers conducted a traffic stop and observed the defendant to have glossy eyes, slurred speech, strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, poor balance, and a quarter full cold beer. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 7 out of 8, one leg stand 4 out of 4. The defendant consented a breath, and the results were 0.15.
Any prior to be honest?
No, Your Honor. And I ran his license one moment. Ineligible, Your Honor.
Okay, he has, you're alleging that he had alcohol in the car, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I'm now ordering you not to drive, Mr. Laws. I'm also going, your case is 1,220 days old. I'm now putting an ankle monitor on you as well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you take off on me again, I'm going to make your bond extremely high. No more PR bonds for you. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond and put you in jail. Can you please appoint him a lawyer? I'm gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. I'm going to have you swear to us that you're not going to drive, Mr. Laws. Do not drive. Do you understand? I'm gonna have you swear to us, and then I'm gonna have you take your seat in the jury box while we find you a lawyer, sir.
Quick this way.
Judge, can we approach on camp?
What's the last name again?
Kemp. Bill Quinn, Kemp, Kemp.
Okay. So what's the word, Thunderbird?
So upon watching the video, I agree with the offense, but it's not really clear. It's all happening at once where you see one moment, the defendant like lunge forward, but block, you can't see what he does, and then officers grab him immediately. So you really can't see the grab that the officer says in the OR that occurred. But in the OR, it says there was that grab, and that's why they grabbed him back. So
It's not there, it's not there.
Not there.
you just can't see. It's not saying he's not there. It's just that you can't see it on video. It's obscure. There's people in the way because
So I guess my theory from reading the notes is that when the whole situation was happening with his mother, the gurney was left outside of the house. So the EMS never came inside the house. They were asking the son who opened the door the mother has to walk outside. And he was like, my mother can't walk outside because she's having trouble breathing. Mom eventually comes outside, gets on the stretcher. The stretcher is then taken into the ambulance. The son is running after the stretcher because they're trying to make sure that their mom is fine. The commotion that arises is that, for me, I feel like nobody knew who exactly pushed who, but it's more of an emergency situation about a child caring for his mom who's having a serious medical issue.
I mean, times like this, when you have a medical emergency, right, it's always chaos. I mean, there's chaos ensues, right? Is he really trying to prevent an EMS person from doing their job?
So you look at the totality of the facts, it's like, how are you supposed to, how is he trying to prevent someone from doing their job when all he's trying to do is make sure that he's helping his mother, who they said, hey, we're not gonna come in the house to even bring you in.
Did he pull the arm off?
according to the officer, he just grabbed it and the officer grabbed him at that point. So the reason why it's not very clear how quick it happened. On the video, it looks pretty quick because the officers grabbed him immediately.
But the issue is that the officers arrive at the scene when there was already an incident occurring. They don't know, the officer can't state what happened initially.
Right, but the issue here is that as it's played, it's like the grab of the arm is that interruption or just disruption of the EMS trying to get the mother onto the gurney. And it's not necessary that the defendant intended to do that. It's just that there was that disruption.
This is a specific intent crime, so he has to specifically intend to interfere with the duty of that person, of the performance and exercise of what the official is trying to do. That's what he's charged with, right?
Respectfully, this is like criminal negligence. There's no intentionally knowingly requirement for this. It's just that a disruption occurred through the defendant's actions with criminal negligence. So in this case, he grabbed the EMS, and the negligence would be that a reasonable person should have known not to do that, and that therefore resulted in the disruption of the EMS trying to perform their duty.
But the negligence also didn't pose a serious harm or threat. Like the EMS didn't appear to be threatened. I just don't think it's enough. I mean, even if they were to give us an offer, if we take this case literally to trial, the mom is gonna testify as to what happened, including the brother and the dad. Because they were also witnesses, which I spoke to all of them. I mean, I'm saying are we gonna drag it? Because I just don't see it.
Our position would be that there's enough to move the case forward with probable cause. Whether it's issues for trial is another issue.
I mean, in that sense, he's right. I mean, it's just a probable cause hearing. Is there enough to move forward? Because it's a very low burden, right? Yes, I agree with you. Is it enough to find someone beyond a reasonable doubt guilty? Perhaps not.
And I'm also basing my arguments as what is actually the evidence that we currently have to kind of figure out the confusion on what actually happened that night. Could be not clear at all, which
It is not clear, so admittedly, our reliance is on the sworn statement by the officer in the DIMS.
So let's look up, because it says here, by grabbing EMS responders' right arm, interrupt, disrupt, impede, and interfere with Sanders, a person employed to provide emergency medical services, including the transportation. I'm sorry, this is what I'm looking at. Did then and there unlawfully with criminal negligence. What does criminal negligence mean? Let's look it up.
Yes, Judge.
The defendant should have been aware of a substantial and unjustifiable risk of harm. Is there substantial and unjustifiable risk of harm in this case?
One moment, Your Honor, let me.
The risk must be so significant that it's a gross deviation from what a reasonable person would do.
I'm gonna argue that if he was briefly grabbing the responder's arm, it does not create substantial or unjustifiable risk of harm. The fact that due to the nature of the situation, he was acting emotionally.
Your Honor, if we're gonna go that, I respectfully ask for maybe 5 minutes to look in case law and see.
Take your time. There's no.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no rush here. I mean, we got, you know.
Yes, Judge, I respect 5 or 10 minutes and just to look at.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Take your
Judge.
time. Ready?
Hey, Judge. Yes, sir.
Well.
How's it going, Judge?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. We have Mr. Jashawn Harris on docket today.
8:15.
Okay.
Judge, I believe all the discovery isn't on the case. The state has offered him PTI, but I've kind of went through the case and kind of gave the state all my timestamps on things that I think they need to look at. I don't believe they're gonna be able to make this case, just based on the stop and things like that. I know the court has found PC, and it's kind of like the issue you were just discussing, a trial issue versus the probable cause issue. It's more so a factual issue of where's his brake lights working, and can you have one defective brake light when your other ones work and still be okay? His tail lights worked fine. It was just, they stopped him for a brake light, and he was also in the turning lane at a signal. They said he didn't signal to turn left, even though he was in the turning lane and there's an arrow that directs you to turn. I provided them transportation code and everything for them to look at. Not sure if the court wants to set this one at this time.
No, I guess let's roll it to Monday. Take a look at what he has and see if it's something that you can make. If you still think it's good for trial, then on that day we set it. But so you're not interested in PTI then, right?
Don't believe so, Judge. I would.
No, because if there's a possibility that you are, I want him working on the packet now because I don't want to get here sometime later.
Of course.
Well, now we want to do PTI and we're at 200.
I spoke to my client about it. He has everything he needs. He didn't have to do a mitigation packet or anything. It's just an application. And I believe he was already approved for it.
Okay. So let's roll it to Monday. Let me know what you think.
All right. Perfect. Thanks, Judge. Appreciate it. Judge, also, my client is present today. Can I have his appearance waived for Monday since he did show up today and it's just more so an issue between us and the state to kind of help?
Sure.
Perfect. Thanks, Judge.
Of course.
Okay, let me approve it, Judge.
What was Monday, all the state be able to look at everything that's provided them. I'm just, Judge, how long do we?
She just said that into this. But I just got a point, so I had it.
Sure.
It is. Oh, okay. It's just. Yes, well, it's during COVID.
Oh,
So the ball just got dropped. Can I approach Judge?
I'm approaching on laws is the last name.
Okay.
He's on bond.
Correct. So you just got it.
Yes, I just got it like 10 minutes ago.
So I'll give you some time to look into it.
Okay.
You know, it's 1,220 days old. So we'll give you a little bit of time. At the next setting, though, he's got to come back here and let us know whether he wants to accept a plea bargain or I guess we'll just set it.
Okay. And just for everyone's awareness, I know it's super old, but this happened during COVID and it kind of slipped through the cracks. It was just,
You can't, there's,
I know, Judge. It's,
right.
It was a weird time.
There's still a criminal case. You can't just evade forever and just, you know.
Yes.
We gave him May of 22 multiple times and he still failed to appear.
Okay.
Of 22. So.
But I will get a reset to take a look at everything.
Discovery complete? Do you have everything? What are you lacking?
Looks like we have everything.
Okay.
Wonderful. So
And I think it's a breath case, so I'll do the breath discovery order today and approach on it tomorrow. Just for all the DPS stuff. And then next time we'll,
there's a breath test in this case?
Who's a judge? Yes, there is.
Listen.
0.15?
Yeah, if you can file it tomorrow, that way you can get correct.
I'll file it today. My computer's
No problem.
tired, Wi-Fi's, I don't know. But thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Hey, Owen.
Good morning, Judge.
What's going on with you?
I've got a couple of cases on your docket this morning. They both arise out of the same transaction. We can talk about Rubio, Nicholas Rubio. This is an illegal dumping case being handled by Mr. Goldberg. Judge, I've dropped these cases in the grease. Mr. Goldberg has offered me a pretrial intervention on the cases. In fact, we were here last month. You gave me 30 days to get them into the cleaning green, and I just dropped the ball and didn't do it. Him and there's the other one is Arturo Rodriguez. The case is going to work out, Judge. If you want to set them for trial, I certainly understand.
No, but I don't want to keep just delaying the inevitable. I mean, if you guys are going to do the PTI, let's get on it, man.
We are, Judge. I promise you, I will get it done.
I'm not going to no more long resets. So.
Understood, Judge. I'll get it in and get it done as soon as I can.
Okay, are they both here?
Rubio's.
They should be, Judge. I told them both to show up.
Rodriguez on top of 30?
Top of 30, yes, he's here too, Judge.
Okay, both of them are here now, Owen. So what do we need to do? Do you need to get a contract signed for them to get?
They need to come to my office to sign the actual contract itself. And then I got to get them hooked into the cleaning green.
Oh my God, that's how long is cleaning green? Is it like 3 months away or now?
The first reset was 90 days.
I know.
The second was 30 days.
We're not, no more long resets. We'll have to micro. So, Rodriguez, Rubio, come up.
He's a Spanish speaker, Judge.
I speak Spanish.
Judge, I'm texting.
They both are.
No, I'm just I'll talk to him and I'm only gonna tell him to go to the office this week. We'll roll it to Monday to see where we get for the day.
Judge, I'm going to be out of the city Monday. I have to go to McAllen.
You wanna do Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay. Ustedes dos tienen que ir a la oficina de tu abogado para firmar contratos para entrar en este programa. Ustedes, los casos están ya viejos, so te voy a posponer hasta martes. Tiene que regresar martes para que sacamos una fecha para hacer clean and green. Tu abogado te va a explicar todo eso. ¿Entiendes? Ok, so quiero cuando tú te vas hoy, quiero que tú llamas a Owen para ver y ir a la oficina, ok? Tiene que regresar martes. All right, toma asiento, por favor. All right, so I told them that they're gonna go to your office and they gotta be back here Tuesday.
Understood, Judge.
In the interim, if you can get a hold of Mr. Goldberg to try to get the quickest clean and green date that you can.
Understood.
Okay, thanks. Tuesday, yeah. Okay, Owen, you're good.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. John D.
Hi, Judge, I'm just approaching administratively. We have a Spanish speaker who we would like to do a waiver on. This is Abel's case. Antonio has been kind enough to step in, per Abel's request to have him journey. So, do you want him brought out for admonishments, which we'll need a translator for? Or do you just want him to sign today?
Yeah, I guess you could just have him sign.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, John D.
Judge, I need to approach on Mr. Celestino.
Okay.
The last piece of the puzzle got done this morning, which is he went to go pay the DA fee.
Great.
So I am sending that to Brenda Gamaz. They just need to actually just do the contract, signing, because he already turned in the contract.
Do you want to set it like a week to get that
Yeah,
done?
but also, Judge, I wanted to ask him, his mother is here. So basically, he's enrolled in school. He sent me information in school. You have him on a really tight curfew for the last month and a half. And he changed his work schedule. So he's going to be going to school during the day and then going to work afterwards. Since he's technically in the program and they're supervising him with that, can you maybe waive the curfew and all of that stuff?
Program. I'm not, I don't want
So
to.
you can't do, I mean, he has it, he has the school.
Every time we give a little bit of leeway, something happens. And
But so as soon as they technically sign up.
program, he's off my hands.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Until that point.
I can make that happen ASAP.
Yeah, it's up to you guys, but.
Cesare? Cesare?
You, Mr. Cesare? Sir, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 12 days in jail with credit for the 4 days that you've done. You need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. Do you understand? Yes or no? I need to know that you can actually understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying.
You also need to understand that from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. You understand? You still want to do this?
I guess I have no choice.
You got to be sure. There's no wishy-washy here because, once you do this, this isn't like Target. You could just return it because you don't like it anymore. Once you plead guilty, that's a lifetime decision you make. There's no turning around. Your other options to go to trial. Those are the two options that you have.
I guess. Yeah.
Are you guilty of this offense? You either are or not. There's no.
I'm not. I'm not.
Set it for trial. Then we set it for trial. See, the deal is this, Mr. Zaire. We don't plead people guilty who are not guilty. If you're not guilty of this offense, then they either dismiss it, or if they feel that they have a good case.
I explained this to him, Your Honor, but I told him if you're not guilty, then we go to trial.
Right.
So
This
I'm not
isn't-
going to plea him, Your Honor.
This is not, it's not a game. This is, so you either are or you're not. Reasonable minds can differ. The evidence points to whose side is correct. I haven't seen the evidence. I have no idea. When we get to trial, that's when we all get to see the evidence. But there may be, body cam, there may be videos, there may be eyewitness testimony. I don't know. But until we get to trial, I'll never know. So, you were allegedly there at the time. I have no idea. You either are or you're not.
I was visiting.
Look, I don't want you to talk about the case. You just understand, a lot of people try to justify things by what they think is right. Even though if you think something is right, if it's still against the law, it's still against the law. I don't know. That's why we give you a lawyer, for the lawyer to tell you what the law is, what happened with your case, and whether you are in fact guilty of the offense charged. I don't know. If you want a little bit more time to talk to Greg, you can. It's up to you. But, once you do this.
Speak with him here.
Yeah, once you do this, there's no turning back.
What was his last name?
Cesare.
Thank you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Come on up, Mr. Cesare.
I'm talking to the attorney
Are you guilty of the offense of criminal trespass? Okay. Just understand that, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. I don't know where this is from, but if you go back, chances are it's going to happen right again. So I don't know where this is from, but I probably wouldn't go back, because if you do, you're asking for trouble.
It's an apartment complex owner, just say.
I wouldn't go back. Just don't. Even if someone invites you, I wouldn't go back, because they're going to call the laws are going to come, and they're just going to mess with you. You know what I mean? That's just the reality. Now, like I said, you give up a lot of rights. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So no more trials. We're done today. All right? Okay, man. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to waive your court costs so you won't owe anything. Good luck.
Just gonna give you a form, you go downstairs, you're done with this, cleared up. All right?
Okay, guys.
Thank you. Go right there.
Does he any prior to be ICE or?
No, he's going ice. I think whoever did it just calculated how many, I can find it, taking it down, it just.
No. It is what it is. It's not a. Mr. Vasquez, good morning.
Vasquez, buenos días.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 60 days in jail with credit for the 20 days that you've done.
Yes, Silvio.
You need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You ever get pulled over again, an officer's going to see this. If they roll up to your car and they smell alcohol on you, it's probably not going to go very well for you. From now on, you're faced with a minimum of 30 days in jail. You understand?
Yes.
You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes.
Without opposition, the state.
Sí,
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yo no sé lo que va a pasar
We
con la
reduce it
migración.
down to
Podemos
60 to 30.
reducir de 60 a 30 días.
You have to discuss that with
Y se
Chief.
tiene que hablar con.
And we'd have to refile all the documents.
That's why I
No pueden.
marcarlo y poner un inicial. Dice, él está, le dieron 20 por 60.
I was just thinking, Judge
Y estoy
Barber,
pensando,
I don't know what's gonna happen in immigration.
no sabemos lo que
I'd
va a
like for it
pasar
to
en
say
inmigración.
30,
Quiero que
if it's at
indique
all possible.
30 y una posibilidad sobre mera.
Below point 15,
Y sobre punto
Vázquez.
5, el apellido es de Vázquez.
How do you plead to the
¿Cómo se
office?
declara la ofensa de
Guilty,
violación
guilty.
¿Culpable o no culpable? Guilty.
I'm gonna find
Voy a
you.
hallarlo culpable
I'm going to suspend your ability to drive for 90 days.
de conducir
Do not drive until you get a license.
con una licencia de conducir. Okay, so
We wrote it like that because he's got 20 days credit.
It's up to you guys. It doesn't matter. We're, okay. All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Thanks.
Señor.
Okay, thanks. No, I mean, we gotta do what the paperwork says. It can't just deviate, you know?
Top of page 26, did that one complete?
Sharma was here prior, but then she never came to approach me. I think she was just about to,
Oh, so,
so I don't know what she said.
okay, bottom of page 33, you said you were revoking it, but you didn't.
Oh, look, there she is.
Bottom of 33, what's the problem?
15,004.
Bottom of page 34, have you heard from counsel?
No.
The defendant is here. This way.
I don't know. I don't know if they're ready to file a supervision order or,
Yeah, me neither. I've emailed them to swing by.
okay. Who's,
Junidia Ortega? He's in the,
is Miss, where is?
It's Sharma. She's gonna come sign in a minute.
Case
Morning, Judge. How you doing? Good afternoon.
Hey, Sino, what's up, man? How are you? What's new? You killing it up there or what?
It's okay. It's good.
You're always killing it.
I seen you on TV and I see me all over your celebrity. I don't even want to talk about it. Sure.
What's up?
Nothing much. Just trying to pivot into PI, no personal injury, trying to pivot into it.
That's what I'll be doing.
Pablo Escobar,
Man, I'll tell you what.
Is that what you were doing too?
No, but it will be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's where it's at, man. I see the numbers and I see
nuts.
And all they're doing is signing a case up. It's really they're just like,
you gotta find it.
They're just signing cases, it's sparkling, yeah.
You gotta find it. Once you find it and once you get that.
It's crazy the quality of attorneys in this courthouse, like, and then you go to see the civil attorneys, like some of them never even tried for it. You never had a hearing.
I was talking and I was talking to a guy yesterday about it. Never even been in a courtroom, you know?
I mean, if you just know how to market and sign cases, it's all, you can outsource it to other firms. So they, big firms that, work them up. I know guys do that. They literally do nothing but just sign a case up. And then wait for the check.
I saw a friend of mine get a referral of like 4 million, you know? 4 million referral fee. I was like,
yeah, it's no problem. Like, I mean, it depends how you get, but like I can confirm that I've been doing that to commercial cases. I'm not gonna be jump in.
No, don't.
And you need the resources,
Right.
I'm not gonna.
No.
My brand's working. That's the but it turned out to be a good move because they actually got always quality work.
Just latch onto a good lawyer.
Do you want me to have a?
Yeah, I need to
Know what you know.
Hold on, what I did here at the DA's office is like.
Yeah, just-
2 years. Yeah, because I was working. I was going crazy. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
What's your guy's name again?
I have two, Your Honor. I have Kendrick Daly, and I was it the parents' wages for now?
So Daly is number one. So it doesn't matter. That's not an old case.
Okay, yes, sir, but she just offered a PTI on it anyway.
Okay, so
I'm gonna, yes, sir. And then on Mr. Johnson, there's a new policy. We were supposed to do a PTI packet, which we did. And there's a new policy that the chief nor I knew about that they just emailed yesterday and said, we have to do an application now. So they just looked it up in the
There's always been an
notes.
application that's due.
I didn't know, but they said something about a new policy and then they have to get this application notarized. I don't know.
So you haven't done that yet.
Well, no, well, we sent it to him last night.
Yeah, but-
So, did you bring the application we sent you?
Yes.
Okay, so he has it today.
So what we'll do is we'll set you off a week
Yes, sir.
to see about the approval or denial.
Yes,
And
sir.
we'll go from there. If it's denied,
Someone just come back and handle it. That's no big.
Okay.
I got it, Judge. I promise.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
hey, a week on that case, Vic.
I heard him say one.
Johnson, where's that?
All right, from week.
What, are you talking to me?
13th is my birthday, and that's gonna be the only case I'm coming down here for, but I wanna
Well,
handle.
I mean, a couple of days before, I don't care.
Okay,
A
thank you.
week-ish.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
The 17th?
Come on. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, good morning, Ms. Ortega. Ma'am, you're charged with assault causing bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 1 year in jail. This is so weird. It doesn't say that.
I know. We're doing a.
What the heck is this? Alex, how's this, who filed this?
I do not know. Who is the cause?
It just says 1 year death.
Ron, if I have a cause, I'm back and look.
I think refile.
Yeah, so because
Oh, that's not bad.
we really don't know, is this a deferred?
Yeah, yes, Judge, I'll do it really quickly. It should be done in the next.
We'll still do it and then can file everything later. So we're doing a 1 year deferred though?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so Ms. Ortega, you need to understand that you're entering into a deferred adjudication. This is a type of probation that if you complete it successfully, you do not end up with a conviction on your record, but you can't tell people it's dismissed. You get into a deferred, if you complete it successfully, there's no conviction on your record. Do you understand the difference? You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial. Shh. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you are entering into a contract. You either successfully complete the contract or you get revoked. If you do something to violate this agreement, I'm going to arrest you, put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out in Orange. And the only thing we're going to talk about is if you violated the probation. None of that, whether you're guilty or not guilty, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is if you violated this agreement. For you to complete it successfully, you must complete a Thinking for a Change class. Guys, which Thinking for a Change do you want on Ortega? It's 4, right? It's 4 hours. It's a 4-hour Thinking for a Change class. You must do a 2-hour anger management class. No drugs, no alcohol. You must also do a TRAS. This is an evaluation to see what are the conditions you need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill them. No threatening, harassing, or abusive contact with a Derek Michael Waters, Alondra Georgina Mendoza. Is this how you understand the agreement?
Yes.
I will make you a deal. If you do well, if you're nice to everybody, and you do your classes quick, I'll take you off in half the time. You can be done in 6 months if you really kick butt and just be nice to everybody and don't use. Don't test positive for dope, alcohol. I'm not asking for much. Do you understand? How do you plead to the offense, ma'am? Guilty or not guilty? I'm not going to find you guilty. I'll withhold that for a year. But like I said, get everything done quick. We'll take you off quick. What do you do for a living?
Oncology and radiology doctor.
Okay. Do you have any children? Okay, you can reduce it. All right, ma'am. Best of luck to you. Thank you, Katia.
And Judge, I also have Ms. Uceda on the docket.
You say that. Okay.
We're waiting on a competency evaluation on that.
How long have we been waiting?
December, I think December 9th.
Still don't have it? That's really long. So, is she here?
She's here, Judge.
Why don't we give it a, where are we going anyways? Do you know?
We're trying to do some sort of informal PTI because of the mental health. There's
Have
an
you spoken to
offer.
Brad about this yet?
Say
Have you spoken to Brad Morris about this yet?
I haven't, but I can.
Reach out to him
Okay.
and see if they're even amenable to it.
Mostly for felonies, but he's talked to me about misdemeanors before, so I can reach out to him.
Well, we see who if it's not him, who's the point of contact that we can actually get through. So for mental health purposes.
I don't think there's one that for misdemeanors, my last conversation with Brad, but he said he's happy to help me if I ever have a misdemeanor case that he can take a look at. So I'll definitely do that.
And let's set it off a week. I don't want to wait long anymore. You know, we should have gotten it by now. I don't understand why it's taking so long. And then if it's not here next week, I'm going to start reaching out to people then.
Okay.
All right? Okay.
Last one I needed to approach for you was Jada Davis. We have submitted an application for consideration of pretrial intervention. She's going to pay to do her TRAS.
Well, wait a second. Do you want to wait first?
Davis?
You think that she's going to 100% get entry?
She will get it.
Is there a blood test or breath test?
It's blood point. Ooh, let me look. She's eligible for
I see
sure.
more denials now. That's why I'm saying I would hate for her to have to pay for it and then get denied.
Makes sense. I'm pretty sure she flies under the radar as far as getting approved. Let me look and see.
Felicia, he still has a curfew. I did not take the curfew off.
Signing the contract. I've already signed it. It's already going through.
They were found in supervision order today?
Kelsey just signed it. It shall be coming through.
Okay.
I got the email. It's happening. I wouldn't let that happen.
I'll talk to the DAs and see where they are on the application, because I sent it to them end of January 27th, so they should, I'll reach out to them and see what they say.
For a couple weeks?
That's fine, Judge. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Katie. John D. Ready? Okay. Once and for all.
Yes, Judge, and after reviewing the video and reading case law where there's a case Duncan v. State where they describe it as essentially shutting down, even we looked at it and we don't see that here.
Okay, I'm going to find no problem.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm going to tell you, look, from what I read, I was looking at case law as well too, and it said the gross deviation is such that like there was a guy who had a trailer,
right? Who didn't put chains on the trailer detached, it was a homemade trailer, it detached and it killed someone. That's a gross
That's why I
deviation, you know what I
posted the
mean?
video and it was just very brief. Yes, Judge.
We have enough cases.
Yes, Judge. Mhm.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Good job.
Thank you.
That's it after that one though, right? Oh, well, that's just,
No, you already told me. Yeah, that's it.
that's it. All right. All right, guys, I gotta roll because I got a meeting, but I see you tomorrow.
So